Are we live? Finally, I think we're live. Okay. I'm going to wait for some people to hop in here, and then we're going to get into some macro reviews and tool reviews. And I'm going to start by actually going through the Discord right now, just to see if I can start finding some good presets. Lots of people have been putting stuff on the macro reviews channel. I'm not sure if everyone who's put stuff in here knows that these usually go on these streams, and if they don't, then they're gonna learn. Let me increase my volume because I know that I get pretty quiet, and I don't use this audio for my actual videos. How does that sound? Do I sound a little bit easier to hear? Okay, let's see. We do have the eye mask, and I think he might have finished that one. A lot of this stuff I feel like is not macros to be reviewed. I don't know if I looked at this tool. Did I ever look at subtext? It looks like I downloaded it at some point. I don't know if I actually showed it off. It's just a tool called subtext from Dakish. I think that may be how you pronounce that. I'm not good with pronunciations. It's my downfall. Did we look at this on stream? I don't know if we did, because it does not look familiar. That is not in English. I know that. I don't think it is, unless it's just a word I'm not recognizing. By the way, I do have food coming here in a little bit, so I will be probably having to run real fast to go do that. I don't have music going. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I have music queued up, but I didn't even start playing it. Turn that down a little bit, maybe. Okay. How's that volume for the music? Does that sound pretty good? Is that too quiet, maybe? Seems like it might be too quiet. I'm getting real talkative. Yeah. Oh, no. Was that yeah for the music, or was that yeah? It's good? Okay. How's my volume, by the way? Do I sound pretty good? Music levels good, mixing up with my voice. Hey, how's it going? On my way. I haven't seen you around on the channel much. At least you don't post in the chat or in the comments. I can't see likes or anything if you like a video. I don't know why they can't show me likes. It's super weird. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? This is a weird nest that isn't doing anything. That's a weird bug. If I haven't talked about this yet, biggest comment I would say for subtext, at least from this person from like over 10 days ago, like 17 days ago, I would say have some separation in some things. This is a little bit difficult to read what's going on. Maybe try labeling some things. I kind of understand that this goes with the text. And you did label the character angles, but why are there two like angle slider sections in here? It just feels a little bit sloppily just slid in here that I don't really know what's what. Why is things here? It's good to have more controls, but sometimes more controls can be bad as well, because sometimes you just get to the point where it's just a list of controls that's hard for you to... I am so sorry. I thought you guys could see my screen. My brain. Okay, I'm looking at this tool from this person, Dakish, maybe. They posted it 17 days ago. It looks like it's just a simple title animation. But I think for just a simple title animation, there may be a little bit too many controls and not enough organization of the controls. You do have a lot of effects in here, and you have like different angle, different animations and stuff. But I feel like, I mean, like you have duplication angle controls down here for one, that's causing some confusion. And you also then have shading elements with their own transforms. You have everything from the shading elements, and you have all of the shading elements here. But even not all of them, you only have up to 3. So it feels weird to have all these here. Maybe just giving one, and then maybe giving like a border effect or something as well on top of that, but not having it like a part of the shading elements so they can actually edit it, because shading elements are weird. It'll only show what's actually been clicked on in the node, even if you select it for the macro. It's pretty bizarre. That's why they have all these here. That's why I'm suggesting this. But once again, like the double rotations, this nest that's just not doing anything. Same thing with this nest. These just mean that your number of inputs that they're hiding is set to 0 or not set at all. And that could just be like, this is an early version. I'm not sure. I may be not able to refer, please give you feedbacks on the macro. We're not able to arrange things in the labels properly. Yeah, okay. So that was one of the problems. I've seen tons of controls on macros before, but this is missing organization for sure. Yeah. Organization definitely needs to be here. Some separation lines, some labels. I understand you're having problems with labels. Labels are weird. You have to give them a number of inputs to hide. They won't just hide everything on the page. Do you know when DR full version is coming? I don't work for Blackmagic Design as much as I update their features. I would like to work for Blackmagic Design one day. That'd be really cool. I don't know if they work just in Lua though, or Python. I don't know what language they use. CSS? No, not CSS. But probably in a few months. They usually have a like 5-month cycle, I think. So it may be in the next month or two. Yeah, probably C++. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Monochromatic. Okay, so you can add color into here. What are you hiding and showing? Yeah, this is also the problem without having like labels or separators. I can't tell what's being hidden and shown without like trying to figure out where the similarities are. Is it rectangle center? Is that where things are changing? Yeah, because that's changing to master offset. Yeah, so some lines would definitely be helpful here. And having some user stuff to turn things on and off. Just put these where the controls are for them. That also will help separate the effects. Don't have it on their own page because that will separate the user from the controls and make it more confusing. And then, yeah. Besides that, I'm sure that it works fine. It's a little bit laggy. There's a random keyframe from this being published, I'm guessing, or maybe something else is published. Oh no, these are just animated for some reason. Usually giving the user actual animated controls isn't always good, because they may just try to change it in the middle of an animation and not realize that it's animated, and then break it. So yeah. It'd probably be a few months before 19 full release. Usually they are beta for long, unfortunately. Yeah. Excited to work on 19, but don't want to install beta version. No, I get that. Especially early on, it was very terrifying because a bunch of macros broke because the method to hide controls was not working. So every control that was supposed to be hidden was shown. So you could see the off buttons, the like different controls for different effects, just all right there in a big old list like this. But even worse because it was meant to be organized and it just looks like chaos. Because you can see everything, even the hiders and everything. It's super weird. But yeah, I'd say that's all the comments I really have for that. Just organize. It takes a minute to get that down though, because you have to make the separators, make all the labels, put the labels into the macro on your own. It's a big hassle to do all the organization. So I understand that you don't want to do it. But thankfully, the new macro creator is going to solve all these problems. So hopefully we're going to see a lot more organized macros come out way faster, because it's going to be way better. Oh, my food's on the way. If you guys don't know, the new macro creator is coming out soon, and it will essentially revolutionize the way you make macros. You're able to just design the look of the macro, adding like any control you can edit, button code, expressions, and like text on text edit controls. And you can do a bunch of different things, editing controls on the macros, and reorganizing controls, reordering the stuff in the list so you can choose whatever order you want and then change the order later on. It's crazy stuff. You can also just instantly make hidden controls because I have the ability to turn labels into hiders to hide controls below them, and then you can just code it into a button right there with the interface. It's just gonna make everyone's lives so much better once that's done in like a few weeks. Plan for the 14th of next month to be like the latest it's gonna come out. Right? Like, I hope that it's gonna really, really help people, especially new people. Just get an intro to making macros, and then start using that tool, and it'll be way easier to make macros. You can also like add styles to labels, like right as you make them. You're able to remove the settings page and change the icons of all your pages on the macro, or remove the controls page. Bunch of crazy stuff. Let's see. There is an iMask 2. Something about the Nest's not working. Is there another version of that? No, this is from yesterday. Alright, let's take a look at iMask 2. This is like an updated version. I have downloaded this as well, but I've not taken a look at it maybe. Oh no, I did take a look at this, and I did tell him in the Discord this is a really cool macro. But let's take a look at this on here. We have to get an actual clip in here. So let me just get this random clip. So the idea of this is you have this mask that you can just group select, drag around, extend out, and it's like you could choose where it's going to blur, and this thing's really, really cool. And then you can grab the IntelliTrack, this is for 19 right now, and we can just choose like the eyeball, and we can track my eye. And then we, if I can remember, oh yeah, the tracker's on this, because they don't have it on their own page. And then we can just like select track it forward and backwards. You can see it's tracking the eye. It looks like it's done tracking. And now it's a little bit offset. I think that may not be intentional. But I think, no, hello? What's wrong? Why is it upset? Is it one of these? Best match? IntelliTrack, what are you doing? If anyone knows what's going on, that'd be fantastic, because I don't know what's happening here. Hello? This isn't the right spot, but why did these all move? Can I just put these back where they're supposed to be and it's going to work now? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, and you can see it just tracks the mask to it. I think Magic Zoom kind of does the same thing, technically, but completely different idea, and Magic Zoom is harder to use for people who just want a mask. So this is definitely great. And you can just add more, and it adds the new things into the UI, which I think is great, which is not super easy to do all the time. Especially, I've had problems with hiding and showing controls. I wish there was ways to hide and show more controls than masks and trackers. But trackers are like that because you're able to enable and disable them. And then you can see them in the screen. But masks have like a checkbox to enable and disable them. But other things like these controls, like the handles and like rotation and everything, those are... There is a way I have seen on the VFXpedia that does describe a way to potentially do that, but I've not been able to actually get it to work and actually let it live change. So if someone knows a way, please tell me, because that's awesome. I want that feature. Okay, I have food here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I went super cheap and just got some meat at McDonald's. So I'll mute myself whenever I do that. And if you guys have any questions, please shoot. I'll happily answer any questions. But I don't know. Do we want to like watch something while I eat so I don't have to talk? Any like YouTube videos you guys want to watch? I'm not even kidding. Like any videos you guys want to watch like on YouTube that we could catch up on. Also, just out of curiosity, what are the features going to be in the fully free version of the Macro Creator? How useful is it going to be for those who don't have enough to pay? It's still going to be functional. I want the bare minimum, the reordering features, but I think the adding controls and editing controls will not be in there. I think the opening macro may not be in the free one just because I want more enticement to get the paid ones. Even though the paid one that's the next tier up is 50, I feel like that's a reasonable jump. I don't know though. I still have a little bit of time to think about it, but that's my current thoughts on that. But any YouTube video ideas? Anything we want to watch or something while I eat so you don't have to like watch me eat and chew and all that stuff? Any like tutorial that you guys want to watch or something? Do we want, do we want to watch the like Casey Ferris DaVinci Resolve Masterclass or something? One of those videos. There's a car. Whatever you like. I mean, I'll still answer questions if you guys have them, like while we're doing this. I just need something to do while I eat so it's not as awkward. Let's watch this stream. But we're on this stream. And I mean, I don't have anything for us to do unless you guys want to watch me eat my burger. You can probably hear my bag ripping beside me because I don't have any music playing. Let's just look at what's the newest search result whenever you search DaVinci Resolve. And it looks like we got Alex and Casey. A George, who I don't think I've seen before, but he's got some editing tips to save days. Dude, we can watch the video that someone made about me. Wow, boost my ego. Woohoo. I mean, I'm glad that it showed up in the results, but it's probably just because I'm the person searching it. Here we go. Free workshop for DaVinci Resolve VFX.
It can be really hard to find advanced training on Fusion these days. There's just not a lot of practical wisdom out there yet for making movie magic inside of DaVinci Resolve. So we put together this advanced visual effects workshop, which we could probably charge money for, but because we want to inspire as many people to make amazing stuff in Resolve as possible, we're giving it to you for free. If you watch to the end, you'll learn how to create some awesome realistic visual effects using a shot from our Star Wars film, of which you can download all the media for with the first link in the description down below. You can also click whoosh right there. Yeah. Just a little disclaimer, this is more of an advanced video. So if you're brand
How's
new
the
to Fusion,
volume?
I would recommend checking out some of my more basic videos first. This is for the people that want to get their feet wet, really try their hand at some crazy compositing techniques. Let's go. And I'm just going to jump right in here. We have our edit laid out here in the edit page, and the shot that we're going to be working on here today is this third shot, Star Wars 105. And you can either put an edit together like this if you want, or you can just open the media and put it into a new timeline. Either way, Star Wars 105 is what we're looking at. And I did mock some stuff up here in the edit page. I just put a solid color over his lightsaber here and over the Jedi's lightsaber here and through our little droid there, just so we can kind of basically understand the timing, just kind of slap some stuff together. So let's take a look. So he turns on his saber, and then the Jedi puts his arm down and kind of force grabs his saber like that and turns it on. And that's kind of the timing. So one thing I'll do just to make this a little bit easier on us is to select our clip that we're going to be moving into Fusion, and I'll hit M on the keyboard to make a marker for when the red saber starts. And then right here where the
Discord link is in the description.
This,
It's the last link in the description, I believe, for the stream.
Play things back really easily on the edit page before we've done a whole lot of stuff. Let's select all of these in the edit page and hit D on the keyboard to disable. In fact, I'm even going to get rid of the droid here just so I don't have that in the way. Make sure that I'm over Star Wars 105 here in the edit page, and then I'll switch over to Fusion. That's going to open up this clip in the Fusion page, and I'm going to go up to Workspace and uncheck Show Page Navigation. I'm also going to zoom in a little bit just by grabbing this little slider here and moving this over so that we're just seeing what's in between these yellow tick marks. Same thing here. And that's just going to limit where we can scroll to be just what we have in our edit. Okay? And in this project, I already have my color management set up as well. Now, if you're starting this project from scratch, I'll show our page navigation here. Make sure to go down to your project settings. And here under color management, switch this from DaVinci Y RGB to DaVinci Y RGB color managed. And then let's uncheck automatic color management. And here where it says color processing mode, let's scroll down and hit custom. And the only thing we're going to change here is this timeline color space. Let's switch this to DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate, like that. That's all we need to do. Now let's hit save. And now Resolve is in color managed mode. The one thing that we'll have to do is go over to our media pool and select whatever footage we're using. Just select all of this footage and right click and go down to input color space and make sure to tag the input color space with whatever your camera is. This footage is under Blackmagic Design, Blackmagic Design Film Gen 5. So make sure that you have that set up. I've also done that for our VFX space. Same thing, just select them all, right click, input color space, Blackmagic Design, Blackmagic Design Film Gen 5, okay? That is going to make it so that we can see what our color management is going to do in the color page, and we can make some informed decisions on how bright or dark or what color we want to make things, because we're using that same color management all the way through. Now, this is new in version 19 of Resolve, where this actually works.
I do use Lua in DaVinci Resolve, yes.
19,
I also use Python sometimes, but less often because I don't know Python as much.
But now it works great. So I think we're all set up. I'm going to go over to Workspace and uncheck Show Page Navigation so we have enough room here. And I think we're ready to get started. So we're all set up for our shot, and there are a few things that we need to do here. One of them is we need to mask out me right here because I was holding the lightsaber to move it over. And the idea of this was that we would just move that lightsaber over like that, and that we would erase the blade and the lightsaber would fly over into his hand and it would work great. It's kind of hanging awkwardly. There's like it just kind of didn't really turn out how we thought it would. And so rather than mess with that, what we're going to do is just erase all of this, and we're going to animate this lightsaber handle flying in, because that's actually going to be slightly easier than what we were doing. Now, feel free to try it another way if you want to. This is just the way that I kind of decided to approach this shot. But essentially what we need to do is we need to kind of erase the lightsaber and isolate the arm and the robe and everything. And then we need to take a still of the lightsaber handle here and then have that fly into his hand and then kind of merge with this footage right here. Then we can do a little bit of erasing of this and adding in the real blade, that kind of thing. We also need to erase this blade before it turns on and then put the real lightsaber blade in. And we need to put our droid in here. So there's quite a few things to do on this shot, which is why it's its own course. And we're going to do our best here. And I'll just drag this down and hit 2 on the keyboard so we can see it. We have a clean plate that is all in focus. And we also have a clean plate that is blurry. Now, we did this because, of course, this whole thing also has a focus rack, which makes it so much harder. Why have we done this? Why did we do this? So much harder now. So we do have the clean plate, so it'll be easier to erase things. Let's go ahead and use the clean plates, and let's see if we can erase some things roughly, and then we're going to rebuild stuff on top of the blank plate. Now, one thing that's going to help is if we stabilize this a little bit. If we zoom in here, you'll probably be able to tell that this is moving up and down just a little bit. And so it's going to help us if we stabilize this just a touch. That's just going to make everything else easier. So let's go ahead and let's do like a planar tracker. And I'm just going to grab a bunch of these trees here with the planar tracker. And for motion type, let's just say translation for now. Maybe translation and rotation. Let's go with that. We'll set our reference time to whatever it was, 101. That sounds good. And we'll track to the end.
That message
Okay.
disappeared, by the way.
We'll
I don't know
go
where
to
that went.
the original frame. And then track
I don't know
to
if they
the
deleted
beginning
it or what
like that.
happened.
And now for operation mode, let's just say steady. Make sure we're looking at our media out, and let's look at this before and after. Oh yeah, much better. It does do the rotation here, and I don't know if we necessarily need that rotation. Might be better without the rotation. So let's actually go back to track, and let's just say just translation instead. And we'll go to our reference time and track this back and forth again.
We can do some questions if you guys have them. I want you to mainly finish the burger because that was like the most disgusting thing I could eat on stream. Because those are like massive bites that I'm taking and it's like messy. So I don't want to like look disgusting on stream. But fries and drinks I feel like are okay. So if there's any questions, I'll happily take them. Otherwise, I'm going to still look at some macros. So we don't have to just keep sitting here watching Casey. As cool as Casey is, we have other stuff we could be doing. So let's go do some other stuff. But that video was pretty good. I haven't watched that video all the way through, but it does seem like a very good VFX tutorial. I'm not too experienced with the VFX itself, mostly motion graphics. But I do want to get into some VFX. I just need to record video for VFX, which I have not done ever. I'm just going to get some music back on here. Let's play my own video. Woohoo! And actually, that's the stream. It's not the video. Pretty much the same thumbnail though, which is kind of the point. It's to me saying to everyone, being like, hey, if you just watch this video of mine, I'm streaming soon, or I'm streaming now. You should watch this and watch me talk about it if somebody asks a question about it. That's the point of the streams. It's to answer questions about DaVinci Resolve and the videos I make. But also anything in general is fine. It's just the idea is like, hey, if you have a question, feel free to ask it. Trying to find a good playlist or something. Sure. Alright. I love that this is what it plays. I don't want that in my ear though. It's a little bit loud for me. I'm actually going to turn you guys down a tiny bit too. Okay. I think we looked pretty good at the eye mask. Let's take a look at here. We got our welcome for our new friend Light. Welcome, welcome. I'm guessing that's you. When are we expecting a puppet like macro like puppet tool? I have not began working on it yet because I'm working on a bunch of other things, and this week and this weekend I'm going to be working on projects for clients. But I'll be getting to it in a couple of weeks when I'm working on testing out my macro creator. I just don't have time right now. I'm working on other projects, but that will be here in the next couple of weeks, and it should be decent, I hope. I need to look at other people's puppet tools and like see how they do it, put my own twist on it, you know, make it something else, and also use the new macro creator as like, hey, this is a really cool feature of this. You can make really cool stuff like this. And I'm going to upload it to Reactor using the new macro creator. So, pretty cool, I think. It's like a proof of concept. Like, hey, you can do this too. Make a really cool utility tool or make a cool effect and get it uploaded straight up to Reactor. Pretty sweet. No, they're probably not going to make a puppet tool. And I probably won't be able to make one that's like really, really good. The best I can probably do is like, hey, import some layers into the macro, and then you can move them around from the joints. I might even like give you like finger abilities if you want to export the fingers too. I might do that. Let me know if that's actually a good idea. It just came up in my head as I'm talking about it now. Just to like add more to it to make it more of something else besides just, here's just another iffy attempt at making a puppeting tool. Because puppeting tools have been done before by people, but they're always like not as good as the official puppeting tools from Adobe. Words are hard. Okay. These are really cool. I already have one of them. No, I think I have both. Is it generator or is it title? I think it's title. Yeah. I only have the overlay. This is really cool. I don't think it's going to work right because I don't have the font. So I'm going to have to change the font. Hello, Terraria. Wait for this to update. There it goes. I've noticed this is really new for 19. It tells you what's wrong with the comp. Instead of it just going black, it just tells you what's wrong. Hey, there's a font not found. And like, hey, there's a font not found. Or if there's like nothing in the comp. Like if we drag in a new one. It'll say, hey, there's no frame available for media out because there's nothing going into the media out. I think it's really helpful because you know what the problem is with your comp. That is a brand new feature, I'm pretty sure, and I love that. This is really cool. Maybe a little bit confusing because there's controls a little bit everywhere. But it's not really made for publicly like selling or anything. I don't think it's mostly made for their own in-house D&D. But either way, this is really cool. I mean, I love D&D myself, and I just think this is cool in general. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see what's going on, because you guys can't see too well. There you go. So you can like adjust the current HP, so you can go like below their max health. You can adjust their max health over here in setup, so they have max HP. You can go all the way up to 1,000, and you can like change their current HP, and then you can set animations for this, set your keyframe down. I'm guessing the new setup player animations, which sets the keyframe for all of these. And then you animate the health, and you go down here, and you make this one smaller. I don't know if that's actually how you do it. Maybe I'm doing it in the wrong orders. But that really is helpful, because then you don't have to make keyframes in like the same distance every time. And I believe that adds the curves to it, right? Like it's more than just adding the keyframes, it's adding the curves. Hello? It doesn't want to see anything in frame. Give me my animations. Do I have to find the exact node? Oh my god. I don't want to. I concede. Oh no. I'm good. I'm good actually. I'm not going to go hunt for these, but I'm fairly sure that these are animated with curves, because I'm pretty sure that this is curved, like smoothing. Yeah. It's definitely smoothing as it hits the end. This is really cool. And then you can also change the condition, which is like, I guess, like poisoned, dead, downed, stuff like that. And you can just clear animations for each thing. I guess you can clear the one that you're closest to, or the ones past it, or no. It just doesn't clear the main one. Or maybe mine's bugged. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is really cool. And they have a little tag. This is really nice. So yeah, definitely go check them out. And I don't know if you can actually see that, but definitely here. Can I not just right click and copy? Definitely check them out, because it looks like their D&D stuff's really cool. Especially if they add this in there now, that's going to be really, really awesome. So definitely go check out their D&D sessions if you like D&D. Or if you're curious about what D&D is, if you haven't heard of it. It's basically like role-playing, but tabletop. So it's like imagining what's happening in your head a little bit. And this, I'm assuming, is pretty similar, right? Yeah, you have the enemy, and then you have how many enemies you have. Different styles, so like you can set the font. And all the other styles for everything else. Cool. Oh, and they removed the pages. I wonder if they did that from my video. And they have general positioning stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is really nice. This is really simple. I mean, this person's learned a lot for macros. I think they were doing macros or dev stuff before. So, it's a fantastic tool, dude. Keep it up. I think that's all of them from that channel. So, do we have any other macros that I missed from the other channels, maybe? Did I just not see one? I'll also review scripts as well. I guess I maybe should make a scripts review channel as well, so I can review your scripts. I'm sorry, that's like right below the mic. You can probably hear me rustling around in my fries. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you guys have any scripts as well, please load them up on the Discord. I'd love to take a look at those and share them on here. Okay. Maybe you guys are loading stuff in. I don't know. For sure, yes. Because I know that you're working on a project, so if you want to load in your like a version of your project for me to look at, let me know. I'll happily take a look at that and like let you know some ideas or feedback I have. If On My Way is still here, if anyone else is here who does not know what the Macro Creator is, let me know. I can show it off right now. I'd happily load it up. I like showing it off. It's really cool. It took me a while to work on it, so I'm happy about it. I just added a channel for script reviews if you want to slide a file in there. If anyone wants to share a script. Alright, well, I'm going to show off the Macro Creator for right now, because I don't see anything coming through yet. Just something to pass the time with. So, for anyone who doesn't know what this is, who is watching this stream later on or watching this right now live, the Macro Creator is my version of an updated macro editor that is built into DaVinci Resolve. So, you know, normally you have to select all your nodes in the order you want your controls to appear. So if you want your text to come up first, you do that. Or if you have like a transform node, like this could be considered a transform node because you can move everything with it. We have master transform. Let's grab our text. Let's grab our glow, camera shake, you know, animation stuff, particle stuff. Cool. And then let's grab everything else. And you know, this is the traditional way of packing up a macro, right? And like, let's say you want this to be like a media in for like an effect or a fusion option as like an input. You then would like right click on your control, go to macro, create macro, and then select all your boring controls from this big old list. Well, not anymore, baby. Select all your controls in a big old group selection. Select a single control to be your controls node. This is what's going to be the node that's going to get all of the user controls you're going to make with this macro creator. Come up here to scripts. Fusion Pixel Studio, the new macro creator. Macro creator. Launch it. And you have all your nodes over here and all your modifiers as well loaded up into here. You can select one of these. You can select all your controls from here. And they are separated out into pages, but the pages are reversed from how you see them on the edit page. Or on any page, or over in the inspector, I guess. Although, be warned, sometimes there's like an extra common page. I don't know why. I have no explanation. But you can select your stuff. Let's go to text, and let's go down to where the text controls are. Like you can see, there's an extra column page. We go up here to text, styled text, all the way down to line spacing. This is your basic text controls. We have strikeout down to right out or right on end. Bam, we have the standard text controls. We come up here to layout. Bam, grab layout center. Now we have a center control. Name it center. Let's extend out this side. Let's make the base size 0.08 because we like the base size of the node better than how we had it. Let's come up here, add a separator line. Let's reorder it to be above the center. And let's put center and separator right up here, right above size. And bam, they're reordered. What's that? You want to add a page or a tab? Fantastic. Oh, let's remove the settings tab. We don't need that here. Oh, and we can also add a tooltip so when we hover over the tab, we can have a full name for it. Or extra information for the user in the Fusion page. What's this? We can even set an icon for our new tab. That is insane. I'm sorry. But you can choose the icons and then even like says what the names of these are. So you can see this one's designed for text, this is vertices, this is transform, this is your shake, all these kinds of things. You can like select these and they'll just show up over here when you're in the Fusion page. You can't see it in the edit page, so not always be great for edit page stuff, but it's cool for them to go into the Fusion page later and see it, I guess. But let's give it a name, like we're going to give it effects. And since we didn't change the first, like the first couple of controls to say the control, like a new page, sorry, then by default this is going to show up on the controls page, and then it's going to make a new page after that. So then we can grab like glow. We can come in here and grab all the glow effects. Gain down to like fall off or something. We can even make a label and give it bolding and give it a color. And then inside of here, we can say this is for glow. We can nest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 controls. And then we can grab all these and move these down one, so then the nest is above all those. Fantastic. And we can add another nest or another label now. We can go and make this one shake. And then when we add a bold, it goes around it. When we add a color, it goes around that. And bam, we have this. We'll just give this 6 because I don't know what the number is going to be. Then come up here, go up to camera shake. We can select all of our controls down to probably speed. Take a look at how many we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We needed 6. That's great. But if we needed to change that, we can double click it and change the number there. We can also extend this out one more and make it into a hider, so it's going to hide these controls and also the label instead of just making it a collapsible nest. So you can do like a button or a checkbox to make the label hide or show. And you can also add checkboxes, images, buttons, and you can also open up Tita's QMap editor and add any other control you want with the super simple, easy to use controls editor. Controls creator / editor. You can also donate to Tita up here because Tita's letting me use their script there for free. So please, if you like that script, go support the creator. If anything, download more of their stuff. But if you want to support them, feel free. We have all these other save options. We can open files, save as a macro file, save as a group, save as a DRFX macro, or save as a group to DRFX. You can export this as a save file into the saves folder as a DR macro file for saving for in the future. And this is going to be something that is like permanently where it's staying, and you can just open up this file later to reopen the macro and edit the controls on it if you have a macro you're changing like years later on. We have a button to export for Reactor, so you can export this to submit onto Reactor onto the We Suck Less form, or you can just copy the node to clipboard to edit things really easily. You can also get a few help options here to check for the updates, see if you're on the current update, see all the tutorials, which I have a huge Notion doc full of like a tutorial for anything you could possibly do. And then you can also report a bug, which takes you to the bug reports thing on my Discord. And you can also then shrink this so you can make it out of your way. It's like now behind me. You can like make this little guy put anywhere. And then when you want to bring it back again, you just press open and it just opens it. Super cool stuff. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever worked on. It's also the hardest thing I've ever had to make. Oh, also, there's another thing. It also auto selects whatever output control this output is connected to the media out, so it's going to auto select this to be your main output. So this is what's going to always be connected as like the output of the macro. And it will also auto select any inputs that are connected to a media in that is not in the selection, which would be this. In this case, you would expect it to do this because you're expecting an input from a random media in for doing either a transition or an effect or something like that, or a random input for something in the Fusion page. And it will auto select that. So you don't have to worry about selecting it yourself. And you can always unselect them really easily like that, or keep them selected like that. Super easy stuff. This is gonna revolutionize the way people make macros, I'm telling you. Which is also why it is expensive. Which I don't like the fact that it's expensive, by the way. I do want to clarify. I'd rather it be cheap than expensive, but because of what it adds and how much time save and money you're going to be gaining from having this tool to speed up your process and making your tool look better, I need to make a profit off of this to make my time worthwhile, because a lot of time and effort went into making this, and a lot of learning as well. I also want to eventually try to make macros and scripts and everything how I make money and like survive, along with doing YouTube videos, but I'm sure YouTube won't be paying as much as the tools and everything will. That's even something that like Mr. Alex Tech says. So I definitely want to focus on making this profitable because of how much you're going to get out of it, not just because I want to be greedy and you're just going to get a crappy tool. This is I think a really good tool. It's really helpful, that just needs a high price point. Of course, you need something out for your working time. Yeah. There's always the fear of like making it that's like expensive. People are like, oh man, you sell out, you just want to like make a buck off of me, man. But it's like, I'm sorry, this took a lot of time. This is like more features than you can get from like Dehancer, and Dehancer is like more expensive. So I don't know. It's just how I think about it. But this is also releasing 10 days before the ResolveCon happens. So hopefully I get some good hype from ResolveCon, because I'm also going to send this to Mr. Alex Tech right like a couple of days before I make the actual link live, so he can like get time to maybe play with it and test it, maybe make a video about it if he wants to. And then I'll release my video, and then everyone else who I maybe have stood to who's like a creator can also then release their videos early and on time around then. So I've made the dumb decision of changing way too many times before and regret it more than anything. Of charging way too little many times before. Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I did not read charging right the first time. Yeah, I have a few tools that I wish I could price more, but at the same time I understand that like the value of certain tools is not as good to some people, because they don't think about like the time spent equals money spent. So like I had the Flow to Chapter as like $5, which is probably way too expensive for that small of a tool. But then like Flow Trimmer is only $10. And then there's a free version that does almost the exact same thing, and I feel like it maybe could be something as well. But I also like the idea of like, hey, there's something for free here as well. Give it a try, and if you like it, get the full version. But if it's doing almost the same thing, people aren't going to care enough to get the full version because their specific needs don't need that. This was no longer about making things too cheap or expensive. I went on a weird tangent there, I don't know why. By the way, these fries I've been eating are awful. They're cold, there's like no salt on them. They are horrible. I use DoorDash, so it's kind of my fault. I trusted somebody to give me food on time and not have it freeze in the car on the way. I shouldn't have trusted somebody else to get my own food. They took a long time to get to me and like leave the store. So I wonder if they just sat there for a long time, just wasting time for whatever reason. How's it going, Sleeveless? Welcome to the party. You just missed my entire like explanation of the macro creator, but I'm sure you've seen me talk about it enough times. You know what it is. Plus you had the beta. I know X. He and I talk pretty often. He and I even like want to chat about like dev stuff one time. Just get in a call or something like that and just talk dev stuff. He makes some pretty cool stuff. From looking at his code and talking to him, I know for a fact that Motion Suite is mostly like a test of not really his skill, but more of like what you can do with the language and what we have to us, like our tool set. Because, I mean, he has a mixture of, like, every little thing you could possibly do with a script in there, including a little macro creator in there. So, he's, like, not necessarily trying to make it as best as possible. He definitely wants to make it a good experience for the user. Don't get me wrong there. I don't want to, like, bash him or something. But he definitely makes it more of, like, oh, this is working, it's functional, it's good. No worries about anything else. But there is occasionally problems. My version also may be like a development version. I don't know, because he sent it to me separately when he and I were talking about Anim Utility way back when I was working on that. So I may just have a version before some features got finished. To be fair, I don't know for sure. I was never explained if it's the newest or not. I saw it had a place for expressions. It does. It has a cool little like expression builder. Yeah, his UI is pretty interesting and like really custom. That is, I have used some of his techniques for some of my stuff. His script is how I learned a lot of how I script. Because his script is the first one that I like really looked at, because it's the first one that I really knew about. For those of you who haven't seen it, this is what we're talking about. He's got a button here, which if you press it, it brings up colors. I don't know what the colors are meant to do, but we can insert like an alignment tool. This is gonna like align to the right. So like if you scale up now, it's gonna be aligned to the right. We have a bunch of suites. These are basically scripts that he has packaged up inside of his folder. We got a bunch of path effects, line effects. These are like connecting objects basically together. Like if you have circle masks on like a rectangle, you can like connect them up with this and they'll like move and like all together connected. The lines will like feed to them and all together and all that. And he's like got multiple layers of these tabs, and it's really cool. And I will agree with you that it contains bugs, but the main thing I bought and used it for was quick tools. Yeah, and awesome presets. I love the flame effect in the effects tab. Effect. Hold on. Flame? You have the electric add-on? Do I? Do I? I don't know. Is that another script or something? I like his long shadow effect. Also his inner glow looks pretty cool. I don't have the newest version. I don't have access to download links. He sent me a file on Discord. I don't have access to the actual like shop link. Piracy. Electric add-on for Motion Suite. There's like a what? Huh? Damn cat hair. I'm surprised she's not over here, by the way. She usually comes by and sees what I'm doing. Yeah, it comes as a zip with a bunch of other stuff in it, with like a README and like a what's his name that he uses? Oh, is it just Accession? Is it the folder name? Yeah, Accession, and then there's gonna be Motion Suite folder, and then all the other files inside of there. But with the Accession folder, I believe that's where the README is, in that same directory. I've been setting up automations recently for like when people make a shop order, it assigns them up for like an email list, or if they, on Fourth Wall at least, if they've checked the email list option, it signs them up for the email list. But if they just buy something and they don't check it, then they won't. But if you're on Ko-fi and order something at all, it will sign you up, and then the first email that you'll get will be like asking you if you want to actually join the email list, so that you can have the option to say no. And if you don't respond within 3 emails, it'll like unsign you in, or like unsubscribe you, so you're not spammed to the emails that you're not even going to look at. And then there's also going to be like an email list, like whenever you buy the Macro Creator, you're going to get signed up for a whole different email list for just specific updates for that, since it's like a premium product. Hello, welcome Henry, welcome to the party. We got a whole gang here now, let's go. We're just talking about all sorts of stuff. We were just talking about Motion Suite from Accession right now. IntoDev's trying to get me the newest copy because I don't have a new version, nor do I have a way to get the new version, because he gave it to me for free. Just because, I don't know, we were chatting. I don't know, he's a really nice guy. I didn't really do much for him. He just kind of gave it to me. He's really nice. I'm talking about like automation stuff right now. So whenever somebody's buying stuff right now, I'm getting a record, is what it's being called, sitting in my queue. So I'm just seeing all the metadata of people buying stuff, and I'm just like, this is really cool. This is really interesting to see. That I can see all the information, and then also panic because I don't know if the way that I have it set up for automation is going to work. Because I don't know if it's going to handle multi items in the cart people, like when they have like multiple of my shop items in their cart. Currently I don't know if it's going to handle that well, because I don't know if it's checking that correctly. I don't know how all this stuff works right now. Another order, dude. I did put all of my stuff on the DaVinci Discord. Didn't you pretty much, didn't you make pretty much all the scripts for those YouTubers? Not every script. I didn't make scripts, like I didn't make snap captions. I'm updating snap captions, and I did make Snap Ultimate, which was an update for Orson's creator pack, which makes it like a new, like basically engine for all the new captions that he makes. I've made Jake Whip's Whip Remacro tool, which was a script that I made. I've made a... How do I get to the point of working with YouTubers? I saw a post on Orson's Discord being like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who can make macros. If you're interested, let me know. And I sent him a message. I DM'd him and I was like, hey, I make macros. Here's some stuff I do. It's not current because I've learned a lot more since these things, because these were some old stuff. Actually, some of the stuff is still on my Ko-fi, to be fair. But people still like it. I don't know. But I was like, hey, I've learned a lot of cool stuff. I can make some cool macros. And he was like, great, fantastic. Let's hop in a call. Let's talk about it. And rest is history. After that, I started working with Jake Whip. And then I started working with Mr. Justin Edits. And I worked with Orson again recently. And I'm working with Justin again recently. I'm also probably going to be working with, potentially working with Alex. But he's really hard to get a hold of, so it's impossible to tell when that may happen, if it ever will. But pretty much, if you see a chance, just take it. And then just keep offering the same service to other creators. I don't want to make my own area of expertise competitive, since there's not that many creators, but the more developers, the better. Like, I mean, Orson's working with somebody else to make his SnapPod tool. So, and that one's coded in HTML and JavaScript. So, like, I don't know all the stuff that people need to know. Like, I don't know all the stuff for making the workspace integration plugins. The cat has come to say hello. Oh, tail incoming. Cat incoming. Hopefully the macro creator sells well. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I'm also worried that just word won't reach that far, or people won't have a huge interest in it, just because they don't see a point in it, because they're so used to coding now that they feel like they may be faster with the coding technique than using a tool for it. Don't get on my shoulder. Why do you want to do that? What is your problem, Cap? Lucy, what are you doing? Oh yeah, JavaScript. I'm in a script and that's why I'm asking that. I made the flow layout. Ooh, you're actually working on that. Ooh. I'm very curious to see this whenever it gets closer to being done. Or whenever it's to the point that you want to show me, at least. Because Flow for DaVinci Resolve Fusion would be a game changer, dude. People have been talking to me about wanting with that kind of tool. Like somebody was thinking that the macro creator or the anim utility was that kind of tool, and I had to be like, nope, it handles no keyframe animations. Cat, my hair. I can show you, but it's pretty much useless right now. What's Flow? Okay, so do you know After Effects? I'm sure you do. I think that was a dumb question. Let me see if I can log into After Effects. I'm using my... I'm logged into Adobe, so it looks like I can. I think I have the plugin on this computer. I think. So Flow is essentially like a curves plugin for After Effects. of it, but you've not messed with it. Yeah, After Effects is a layer-based fusion, basically. Oh, I do have Flow on this computer. Will it let me get into it though? It will. Let's go. Okay, I think. I won't say anything else actually. I changed my mind on what I'm gonna say for this. This is Flow over here to my left. Nope, I took myself away. This is Flow over here. You can kind of see the cat still if you want to see the cat. It is something that lets you set your curves like this, and you can select a bunch of different layers that have keyframes on them and select the keyframes, and then press apply, and it will apply them. Or even I think in the settings there's an option to auto apply as you're adjusting the curve, and then you can save them down here or select these like preset ones that like are all these different kinds of curves, and it's super easy to just do curves really fast. People have been wanting this kind of thing for a long time, and I don't know if you're able to get this exact same layout, but Henry's talking about doing something pretty dang similar to this. Obviously, we'll learn more about that when Henry's closer to actually being able to show us. But I cannot wait until that's done, dude. People have been asking for that kind of tool for a long time. This cat is now laying down on my lap. You can maybe even hear the purrs. You already made the layout? Like with the curve preview? If you've made a curve preview, I'm impressed as hell, dude. Like, did you do that with CSS? Or not CSS, but like JavaScript and HTML? Because that's impressive. I cannot wait to see what this is going to look like. This is going to be very good. This is going to be a great addition to the community. Cannot wait. This reminds me of the Solvi monitor tool. Might not be the same, but either way, his tool is pretty cool and free. What word was supposed to be move? Move instead of monitor? How did you get monitor in there? How does that happen? By the way, if somebody wants to sign up for one of the memberships, that'd be amazing. Just a side note, because for my automation stuff, I don't know if I can get... At least I don't know what the information I need to grab is for people who have signed up for the support plans. Sorry, words. So I don't know what they're supposed to look like or how to get that data for it. So whenever you guys want to or can, that'd be awesome, because I'd like to see the metadata for that. But that's not right now. Your phone is dumb. I mean, clearly you typed it in wrong somehow, and you got to monitor from move. I have barely used JS. I took like 4 HTML classes in college, so I know. I mean, for the macro tool, I don't have channel memberships yet, but the support plans for the macro tool, because I don't know what that stuff looks like. I don't know JavaScript because we went to HTML and did some CSS. But then COVID hit and I couldn't learn JavaScript because we were remote, and the instructor did not want to try to teach us that. I also don't know how to upload a website to actually access it from any computer anywhere or on the same network, because I was never taught that either, because he didn't want to teach us that either. So yeah, I know like the bare minimum that I need to make like effects and stuff for text, but not much. I can make a website that looks like it was made in the early 2000s, maybe even a little bit earlier than that, but I can't make JavaScript stuff that does really cool stuff. I dabbled in it slightly. My website domain I do pay for. I pay I think yearly for my domain. Not monthly. That'd be crazy. My monthly or my yearly payment is maybe like $30, maybe even cheaper. It's not that bad. And I just have my Fusion Pixel Studio domain forever. But I currently have my website in Fourth Wall, but I think my domain provider is Squarespace, I think, because I used to use that website maker until I was like, the shop features and membership features aren't very good. Let's switch over to something else. And Fourth Wall is pretty good for now. I've also heard Lemon Squeezy is pretty good, so I might do that as well in the future. This cat is in love with my lap right now, dude. It's insane. She might just fall asleep here. Yeah, I also can't wait to look at Henry's project for the JavaScript and like try to figure out how you're doing it so I can learn how to do it myself because that's how I learn some of the stuff I do best is just by looking at someone else's project and being like, how did they do it? Oh, okay. And then I try it myself, try a couple of different things, research it some more now that I know what actually to look for, and then I can then do it eventually. And I can make it somewhat interesting, maybe. Somewhat cool. Is my music still playing? No. You got a call. You can give the file if you want. Yeah, just whenever you have the chance, send it over, and I'll take a look at that whenever I stream again. Because I'm really curious to see what all he's added to it. Because last time I checked, a lot of stuff was broken. His macro creator was completely busted on my version. So I'm curious if that's working. Although I don't like the way that you have to use it, so I like mine better. But I did use his for a little bit of knowledge on how to get the macro stuff and tools and tool pages and everything. So props to him for some of the code. But yeah, you have a good day, Henry. I'll talk to you later and see you in the Discord and see you next week for my video, which is scripting, adding some features to that UI we made. What am I talking about? Shit, what was I talking about? What was I talking about just now? My brain just shut off all of a sudden. I got distracted by cat. I'm so sorry. Oh, I thought you were having to leave. I misunderstood your message. I read that as sorry I got a call, as in like, oh hey, I gotta leave. You were talking about your macro. For some reason, I literally just completely forgot everything that I was talking about. That's embarrassing. That things were broken. Or something. We can we can forget that I was saying anything because I completely forgot what I was saying. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm confused now. The file was too big for Discord. Oh, jeez. Jeez, Dev. Jeez, he made this thing a gigabyte. God dang. That would be useful though, so I can improve it. Dude, it's crazy. I'm gonna watch back this stream, Henry, and I'll let you know what I was saying and talking about, so I can help you out with anything. Because my brain has completely forgotten everything that I was saying up until the point where you asked what was going on. Because then my brain was like, shit, what is going on? And then I realized I wasn't paying attention to what my mouth was saying. Oh my god, cat. Calm yourself. I'm the only person who this cat lets touch their stomach. This cat trusts me more than anyone else in their life. I need a cat cam for whenever Lucy comes by and says hi. Are there any questions about anything with the macro creator, with yesterday's video, in DaVinci Resolve in general? Any suggestions for things? I maybe won't get to some suggestions for the macro creator before release, just because I'm working on a somewhat tight deadline with other things I'm working on, and trying to make sure that some things are like working before the release of everything. But I will try to get to some suggestions afterwards, and especially afterwards, I'm gonna make a suggestions forum for everyone to fill out if they have a suggestion, like on the Discord. Actually, maybe in Google Forms, just so it's more organized. But I'll have like a whole forum for anyone to suggest any features. My volume's a tad low. How many more videos do you think to finish the sub button? I think just next video. And then I'm going to do a few other things. You wouldn't say so about the volume and do dev? Or am I missing something I said before? I'll increase my volume a little bit because I know that my mic by default isn't the best sounding. So I'll go up to like 5. I also need some music in here. My song's turned off again. Hopefully that's a little bit better. 5 may be a good volume. I'm only hitting the green, so that may explain why I'm not super duper loud. To some people, like I know that on certain speakers I'm not super loud, and on like televisions I know I'm not loud, especially with streams, just because this mic is terrible by itself. Yeah, I have max volume on max. They can barely hear me. Yeah. I might put me up until I'm in yellow. Hold on. Just so I'm like a little bit louder. This mic needs to be like put down or something. Testing. I mean, if I talk loud enough, I can get up to like yellow, greenish. Okay, that's a little bit closer to yellow. My peaks are now hitting like mid-yellow. Hopefully that's a little better. Funny how Motion Suite is meant for motion graphics, but the frame effects you're talking about is super realistic. It's definitely not one. Yeah, no, those effects, I noticed them too. The like textures and all that stuff is definitely not amazing for this stuff. I do like his color picker effect, or the like multicolor things. I keep going further away from the mic though. That's my bad. That's definitely causing some of the volume issues, is me just going further back. Yeah, it happened to me the other stream. You were a bit low in volume. Yeah, sometimes if I get too far back, I mess up with like how loud I am. But it helps on video because I can do all the different effects and everything to like make me actually sound pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't want to do that on stream because stream OBS doesn't have as good of features for that stuff. I probably could find some plugins for it, but I have not found any in the past. Did I ever answer you about the sub button? I think one more video to finish up the main sub button stuff, but then maybe one or a few more to finish up like other macro topics and doing some maybe more slightly advanced stuff. I do have an NVIDIA graphics card. Goodbye, cat. She was starting to fall off. I think it was almost done in 2dev. I do have NVIDIA graphics card. Yeah, looks like it's done downloading, so you can go ahead and take it off your drive, I think. Yep. Now wait for like 6 years for that to finish unzipping. I also have a pretty good core amount. Try NVIDIA broadcast with OBS for like audio stuff. What? What is NVIDIA broadcast? Is it just another OBS substitute, or does it allow you to like edit parts of your stream? Transforms any room in your home into a studio. Take your live streams, voice chats, and video conference calls to the next level with AI enhanced voice and video. Interesting. Maybe actually. It doesn't look like it's like an OBS substitute, but it looks like it's like an enhancement to put into OBS. Yeah, I think I'll take a look at this. This might be helpful. Yeah. My goodness, cat. She was on me for, what, 10 minutes? Hair everywhere. She was on me for like maybe 30 minutes last night, and she got up to like stretch, and then she looked down where she was, and there's just a big mat of hair where she was. It made her jump. Like, she jumped back, was like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's me. It's just me. No, you set the OBS mic to the NVIDIA broadcast. Yeah. You use it in connection with OBS. You don't like replace OBS with it. Like, I thought it was maybe at first like a Streamlabs kind of replacement for OBS. Because since OBS is like open source, people can just mod it basically and do that stuff. I saw a tutorial, and when it got technical, he said, I'm gonna put a video of my cat so people who don't understand don't get bored. And it was funny seeing at some point 90% of the screen it was just videos of cats. You could barely see what he was doing, but you can understand. I might do that for some parts for coding. I might. For some coding videos, that might happen. We'll see. Alright, I think X Sessions folder has opened. Let's go ahead and put it in the folder. Ring the bells, woohoo! Ding, 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 ding. Actually, does me saying ring the bell and subscribe and like the video do the little flashing things whenever I say them, or is it just a myth for people who have small channels? Hit that subscribe button. Like the video. It was really cringy. I'm so sorry. Ah, he released a 2.1. I only have the 2. I see. I am missing a whole like partial version. I have to close DaVinci to open it. It does not flash, but not on live broadcast. It does flash, but not on live broadcast. Okay. It does. You have to say it right. You have to say it just right. I tested it on my channel. I think I've said it in a video before, but I don't know if it did it for me. I've seen it also happen when people just say some of the words in the correct order, and it still just freaks out and is like, "Ooh, like the video! Press the like button, do it!" It's kind of funny, but also like they didn't say that. They didn't say anything like that. Come on, DaVinci. Why are you still saying you're open? Please just close. Nobody needs DaVinci open right now. There we go. Put the new files in. Put the new files out and you shake it all about. I'm sorry. That was bad. That was real bad. Alright, let's take a look at the update for Motion Suite. I haven't seen this yet. Accession, what have you done now? Can't wait to see the fire effect that I've been hearing such good things about. Okay, are you going to load? That was a little slower than it used to be. Oh, he has many more tabs now. Oh, interesting. Okay, macro generator. Okay, I still don't like the way you have to select the nodes. So, get active. Oh, no, you have to have an active tool, just like how I do. It's important. And then you can... Shit, you can't see my screen. Yeah, so he has more tabs now. Look at all these tabs. XFS, that's pretty cool. Does that mean there's a sound folder now? You see, I'm not a professional streamer, so you know you can't see my stream half the time. That's just how it works. So this is the macro creator for him. Let's grab text. You can see this is pretty much exactly what I did for mine. Exactly the same system that he has. Can you multi-select with him? Oh no, you just single select and it adds it. So I don't like this as much because it's way easier to add things by mistake, and then it's way harder to unadd things. And you can add a label, which I've never gotten to work right, I think. You can also add tabs, which I've gotten to work like half the time. So the tabs, you have to like click the tab and then click the control or something like that. I don't know what you do with labels. Do you do the same thing with the labels? So like if I make a label, I think this is where you make the label name. You can put like... text. Sure, this is my label name. And we're going to hide 5 of the controls. And we're going to add label. Select it. And then select one of the... Apparently that's not how you do that. You actually... you haven't actually used that tab. No, yeah, this is not a very intuitive design, in my opinion. I did design my very first version of the macro creator on it. Actually, have you guys seen the very first version? I have screenshots of it. It's kind of funny, because it's kind of bad compared to what I have now. Hold on, 6 people liked this? Hell yeah. Oh no, 6 is the name of the person who liked it. Sorry, I'm boosting my ego looking at people liking my stuff on the other Discord. What was I looking for? Shit. Right, I was looking for the original screenshots. Actually, I don't know if they're in here or if I can find them because lots of things have been hidden because they're changing how it's working. So let's see, macro creator. Did I call it editor at first? I think I just called it a macro editor. What's the problem with also having something that's already been made in one instance or another? Like how X has already made his macro creator? Understand. I don't use the curves or how to you don't understand how the curves or how to copy the curves on Motion Suite. Although you paid for it, got it work, and haven't opened it again. Yeah, some of the stuff isn't intuitive, and I did mention that to him when I first looked at it. I was like, hey dude, some of the stuff's kind of confusing. I definitely would suggest adding some clarity to things. And then he did go back and add some clarity by adding some stuff you can like hover over and it'll like tell you what it actually is doing. He did do that at some point, but I feel like some things are still hard to understand. Okay. Oh wait, no, this is doing new. What about just relevant? Okay, this. Yes, this is the concept. This was the concept for the original macro creator. This used to be tiny. And for a while it looked a lot like this. But you can also see I got a lot of my design from Motion Suite. And at some point I even had like you select if it's a group or a macro down here, just like how he does next to the name. But you can see this used to be teeny itty bitty. Like it would be very hard to use this tool. But this used to be what the macro creator was going to look like. And yeah, it was not a very good look. We have greatly improved since then. Alright, but I have been told to look at other things. So effect. Oh, it is much different. He's got actual stuff in here now. Flame, you say? I'll probably have to have it on something. Ooh. It's like fire, which I guess would make sense why it's called flame. Flame is a generator? I mean, yeah, it's like a... Yeah, it's like its own little node. You can put media into it. There's no in for flame itself. Unless there's like another input like available in here somewhere. I don't see it though. No, like you can put flame into a media out node. Yeah, yeah, it's just a simple... Yeah. The Bender works on 2D things? Yeah, I Bender was in the one that I had. Bender is pretty good. I did like that. And that mode you have on looks really good for motion graphics. It really does. That looked really nice. You can switch the mode back to default and realistic, which is also cool. Oh yeah, yeah, super realistic. Oh, I thought it was on this one. Oh yeah. I like his batch insert. Does it work better than it used to? You have to have a tool selected, which is not how I feel like that should work. So that's cool. Then you add in like whichever one you want. So I want background nodes. Oh, it didn't let me select how many I wanted to add. What? Did I miss something? Gives me what I want, but it just adds 2 of them. That shouldn't be how that works. Okay. What about splash? What about splash does not work yet. Okay, splash is not existent. Dude, the way some of the tools work is so weird. He had like 4 tutorials which you have to dig through to find out how some things work. Oh no. Oh no. This stuff could be kind of cool, but man, yeah. Thumbnail grab. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's cool. I don't know what this is about. One of them is an hour long, or over an hour long. Jeez, X. Jeez, man. I mean, I guess all of his stuff is like explained over text, isn't it? Because he's not a native English speaker, and he's not like super comfortable speaking English right now. Yeah, it's all using text to explain it. So then it's even slower because you have to read it, and then he has to wait for you to like see what he's doing, and it's just, oh boy. Man X. Poor guy. Fuse install. Ooh. This will like put it in the correct place. That's actually kind of cool. We need an installer for certain things like that. Actually, that's a great script idea. That's a fantastic script idea. Like a script that just lets you choose a file and then install it to the correct location. So you don't have to worry about having anybody have to make their own install script built into their macro. They just have to tell people to get this tool, drag it into there, and do that. Oh, yeah, his logo adder. I technically got the code for that from him, so to be fair, he made it first. He gave me that code at some point, and I'm like, oh, cool. I might use this at some point. It's really cool. Then I ended up using it. I'm not native as well. Prefer to use text, but still sometimes have trouble getting my ideas out. Yeah, that's very common. I've heard. I mean, it's hard for me even to explain my ideas out in English, and I'm a native English speaker. I don't sound it sometimes, but I promise I am. Yeah, and yeah, this is the exact same script that he sent me. So you select your image, and you choose. Actually, let's choose the reactor image, sure. And you just add image, and it creates duplicate, and doesn't like my image for some reason. I have never seen that icon in DaVinci Resolve before. That's a really unique icon that you guys can't see. Look at that. What is happening up here? I've never seen that icon before. What's the file type? I thought it was just a standard, like, PNG. Yeah, it's a PNG. It's 600 by 600, but it should still try to add it in there. Like, I've had files that are bigger than that trying to be added onto it, and it worked for them. For some reason, it does not want to turn my image into base64. Maybe the image is too large of a file. Like, the actual size of it itself, like, the data of it itself is too large. And it can't convert all that into base64 because there's like maybe an integer limit or something like that. I don't know. But also for some reason it doesn't add the image on some nodes. I usually use a text node and then copy the code, the logo code from there and put it onto my macro. Yeah, it's not very good if it doesn't work on certain nodes. Mine hopefully does, but I don't really know. It's more designed for when you're putting it together and you already have like a alpha divide node selected for your controls. So I guess like I'm only expecting one kind of node, but I guess you can probably put it on any. But if I'm using the same code as him, it could also have that same problem. I don't know. It could just be a problem with the way that it updates the node. Okay, so like the most ideal resolution is like 355 by 123. That's actually a really satisfying number. Okay, I might add that piece of information to the macro creator just so that I have like a really accurate number to send people. Because right now I'm just saying like make the width around 300. That's like a good size to make the width. Height you can really choose whatever, but just I know that the more height you give it, the worse it's gonna look because you're taking up control space. But I think if I give them this exact number, that might actually like really help. So thank you for that. Bam. Oh, I guess you guys can see that. This is my new Macro Creator Notion page. This is my to-do list, which actually I'll put this above this last one. I just have to finish the macro opening process and try to figure out how to display controls instead of nested labels, which I can probably do with just changing the name of the control. And then just replacing all of the character I use to replace it with something else, like a nothing. I'll figure it out. It shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to do it my way instead of trying to complicate things. I think I know how I'm going to do it. I just need to store the values correctly. And yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Fingers crossed. And then I'm going to add this information about the images. And then after the release, I'm hopefully going to figure out how to get the zip file function working, which is something you can do with DaVinci Resolve. But I've only ever seen it used for opening and viewing files inside of zip folders, not actually making zip folders. Even though it looks like you can make zip folders with the, not API, but like the functions. Although I haven't been able to successfully do that. So I don't know how to do it. It's something I need to learn, but nobody has really looked into it before. So I'd be one of the first. Which is cool, but I don't know if I'd be able to do it with my dumb brain. Are there any questions from me, comments about anything? Things you need to know about macros or the macro creator or anything? I sent you the files if you want to check that. It's super simple right now, but you got it working. Ooh. You don't say. I was getting close to ending the stream. You stopped that. Let me download this image real quick. Save image. There we go. Oh, jeez. Do these just all go into the scripts folder? You can even do style sheets, dude? I am super impressed. So what is this? Is this a workflow integration plugin? That's not for DaVinci? Oh, so I like launch it in VS Code. Set it to a random folder and open the HTML. Okay. You're not going to give me a virus, are you? Okay. Let me add the files to it. Yeah, the Y can technically be anything, because you can make that infinitely tall if you really wanted to. The combined files are like 3 kilobytes, no space for virus, I think. I don't know anything about viruses, to be honest. For all I know, it could be. Alright, let's take a look at this then. Alright, this may launch on my other computer, my other monitor, so let's see. It did. Ooh, okay. So, I don't know if you know anything about workflow integrations, but the workflow integrations are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So, like, in DaVinci, down here, workflow integration. This is HTML JavaScript. If you wanted to completely make it in this, you probably could. Like this is a beta thing I think from Xsession for like a color picker. This is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You can probably make it for one of these. Like if we do F11, is it? No, F11's big. F10? What's the button to see the stuff? F4, F1, View, Developer Tools. Yeah, this is just HTML stuff. Look at that. There's a console for it. So definitely check that out, because that will I think be a good way forward for you. But this is already amazing, dude. This is already a fantastic start. This is great. I cannot wait to see this. I don't know much about workspace integrations. Yeah, in the page you sent, it's the documentation for the integration. Oh, did I send something for that already? Oh, good. I didn't know I had documentation for integrations. That's good. I need to look into integrations myself because I want to learn this stuff. Same thing about fuses and other stuff like that. I want to learn all about the dev stuff you can do with DaVinci, and then share the knowledge as I learn it, because I want more people to do this stuff, because it's not that hard. You just gotta like learn it a little bit and get used to it a tiny bit, and you think you'll be okay. But it's too little. I'm going to need to read it carefully. Yeah, they don't have good docs for that stuff. Oh yeah, so we sign up for the monthly thing for the macro. We get to keep it after 15 months, right? When you sign up for the subscription, you have the macro creator and all the future updates forever. If you stop paying for it, then you'll lose update access, but you'll still technically have access to the full version, but you just won't have upgrade access anymore. Like you won't be able to update to the new versions. You'll just lose access to your license key, pretty much. Oh, is it the same page where you get the UI elements thing? Oh, I didn't know that. I probably missed that. I'm glad you saw that then. Something that you do probably need to work on, I don't know how hard this will be, but making it go past as well would also be fantastic. I'm sure you already are aware of it, but just as like, hey, don't forget about the feature. Have the ability to go outside the bounds. But I'm sure this is early days. I don't want to judge too early. I know this is super, super early for it. It's super cool though. I cannot wait to see this actually get live. How do you color buttons in UI scripting? Buttons for... Oh yeah, for UI scripting. So when you're making a UI, you can give it a style sheet. You can literally give it CSS, and you can set a style sheet for it. But it doesn't technically use CSS. It kind of is, kind of isn't. I don't know how to really describe it for you. But this right here, you literally give it a style sheet tag. This is a combo box, but you can put it on anything. So you can put it on a button. Like right here, we have a style sheet tag, color, and I can give it the color of these values. Give it a font weight of bold, and you can do a bunch of other CSS, I believe, styles in here. Super cool stuff. It's super easy to do. I have a lot of things you probably won't ever need to use, like min size, max size, because most of the time you won't need that stuff. But I have it in here so that certain things are locked in place. But it's more common practice to let people actually move things around. Nah, it's way early. I need to first learn how to integrate that JS file into DaVinci window. I don't think is that hard, but I haven't seen that yet. I do know that the developer working on SnapPod is integrating JS, because I know that Orson directly mentioned that to me, that it's using JS. After that, I can just use the same code from my macro that adds keyframes, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know how much that translates to HTML. I don't know how the integration stuff works. Like I mentioned, like does it use like a Lua or Python script as like its connection to DaVinci, and then like you like call to the file using the HTML or something? My brain doesn't understand how you integrate those, or is it like a different set of like code, like different syntax, where it like does the same stuff, like how Python and Lua is. That's what I need to figure out. Yeah. I if I can access the console, I pretty much have it done because right now it prints the values to the console. Yeah. Wait, when I use the style sheet thing on a button, it colors the text. How do you color the background? Oh. Can't you set a background in CSS? It already translates into coordinates handles use? That's, dude, your brain with this stuff's pretty cool. Yeah, let me see. CSS to change background color. Let me just see if I can find a quick Google search answer. Yeah, it looks like background color, like you were saying there, but without the capital B. Could be it. Dude, you can even add hover and press. Yeah, like you can add pretty much anything to the style sheet. For snap captions, the guy who made that, genius by the way, he's working in a really good tech firm right now, which is why he's not updating it in the future. But he added a bunch of crazy hover stuff to the CSS for his buttons and everything, and that's where I got a lot of my buttons for anim utility. But dude, it's super clever stuff what he did. I'm really impressed by his code. He's a super smart dude that I never got to meet. So you give it background dash color is you do equal to just like a color, so like light blue. Oh no, I just realized that I just launched it, but I forgot to install it. That's the pain of having an installable script like this. I still have the install feature by default for testing, like this for testing and built into Fusion. But for the release version, it will be using the other version. The light and free versions will use this Fusion install feature, but yeah. Oh no, we didn't add the color on there. Do you have to put it in quotation marks? Because I didn't put light blue in quotation marks. Do you have to do that? The tutorial I saw, the website I saw didn't say you had to have it in quotes. But I wouldn't doubt it if like you do for this case. No, it's not changing the background of this. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. Do I have to do it in the same like RGB style? But I thought you could do words like that. I mean, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. every single CSS function in scripts. I don't know. Maybe you can at least add styles to things. I don't know if like you can make it do stuff if that's what you're asking. I don't know. Definitely something to look into because you can do style sheets like that. Yeah. Then I wonder what you can accomplish with it. Then I'd be very curious to see what you're able to add with the combination of the CSS and HTML. You can't do JavaScript though, to my knowledge. You'd still have to do it the other way. But I don't know. Be very curious to see what you end up making. You know more about CSS and stuff, all that stuff than I do. Okay. Like the amount of things you can do is pretty wild. Why is this not on macros? Because they don't care about macros as much. Macros are just this silly extra tool they've given their editors to use. Who cares about that tool? They want to care about their money that they can bring in. Sorry, that's not meant to be like a dig at Blackmagic, but sometimes it feels like that with like the dev stuff. But you know, just being bitter. Yeah, just simply very simple presets, like able to throw some controls onto it and you're good to go. Not meant to be these really advanced kooky stuff we're making into now, like doing magic animate and all the other things you guys are making right now. Pretty crazy stuff, but none of the stuff they originally were making this before was not as crazy as we were making stuff now, for sure. I think I just looped what I was saying a couple of times there, but I think it made sense in the end. Yeah. If there's anything else you want to talk about, feel free. But I'm thinking about ending the stream here pretty soon. Calling it quits. We've had a good couple of hours chatting around, talking about things. But anything else you guys want to talk about, we can quickly talk about. Don't worry. I don't want to like rush you guys on conversation. Alright, looks like people are liking the name the new macro creator instead of changing it to something like flow to macro. Alright. I was thinking for like branding's sake, but I do get the fact that like the new macro creator very clearly tells you what this is and what it's trying to be. Like this is very much clearly trying to revolutionize what macros are and how to make them. So very much does explain what it is very quickly. And flow to macro makes sense if you know what flow is. Like flow is where your nodes are. So like, oh, you're going from the flow and making it into a macro. Bam, flow to macro. That's my thought process behind that naming scheme. But I get the new macro creator is a lot more direct in saying what it's actually trying to do. But yeah, anything else, y'all? Not very many people know that square is called flow. Yeah. like sorry, my brain was thinking of the Flow plugin from After Effects just then. For some reason, it took me a second to remember what we were talking about. Yeah, it's not called Flow when you're actually in DaVinci. It's called just the nodes area. You only can know it's called Flow if you look at the docs and it actually says Flow, or if you like look anywhere in like the metadata of DaVinci, you can see it's called Flow. But besides that, nobody knows what it's actually called. Same thing with like the two monitors. They're not called like previews or screens or whatever. They're called two monitors to preview the contents of the Flow. The naming schemes of stuff in Fusion is very bizarre. So yeah, I mean, it looks like my music's actually starting to die off now, so might go ahead and call it there. Hope we did some good teaching. Hope we learned some things. Hope we talked about some good topics. Hope you guys had a fine time hanging out, learning, chatting, hearing some feedback about macros and scripts and stuff. But that's going to be it for today. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy the week coming up, and look forward to a new scripting video next week. And then hopefully here pretty soon a release of a new tool. Can't wait till that's out. It's going to be so good to finally have the relief of that just wash over me. Like, finally. It's done. All I have to worry about is updating it occasionally. The feeling of releasing your actual tool instead of just working on it for months. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. It's the best feeling, absolutely. Especially when it's like a huge project like this. It's great. Y'all have a great day, great week, great weekend. And, oh, hey, Peach. I'm glad you were able to stop by. I don't know if you just came by or have been here lurking, but you have a great evening, too. Great day, great weekend, and enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.